game. Next matchup, Houston taking on the Indians, 7:10 Eastern first pitch at Progressive Field in Cleveland. The Astros are minus 140, totals at 10. 81% of the consensus is leaning toward Houston. 51% is shaded toward the under. Right now, Cleveland is plus 130 on the money line. We have Jose Urquidy for Houston, Zach Plesac for the Indians. Plesac comes into this game with a 5-3 record, 3.10 ERA, and a 1.10 WHIP. Now, Jose Urquidy, on the other side, in his limited action this year, comes into this game with a 4.26 ERA and a 1.21 WHIP. The Indians are second in the AL Central. They're 62-44 overall for the year, nearly 20 games over 500 now, and they're just 3 games back in the division, and they're 2 games ahead in that first wild card spot in the American League. So Cleveland's starting to turn it on here. They're also 4th in runs allowed, 4th in hits allowed, 3rd in walks allowed. One more number to add about Cleveland, they are 6th in striking batters out on average per game. Now, total-wise, Houston is 5-1 of the under in their last 6. I'm going to finally lean toward an underdog today. I'm going to lean Cleveland Indians plus 1.5 and the under 10 runs in that game. Next matchup, Rays, Red Sox, 7:10 Boston. No line currently posted for this game. We have Andrew Kittredge for the Rays, Rick Porcello for the Red Sox. Porcello comes into this game with a 5.55 ERA and a 1.45 WHIP. Andrew Kittredge on the other side, 3.05 ERA, 26 strikeouts in just 20 innings pitched. The Rays are 4-1 in their last 5, 7-3 in their last 10, taking on the Red Sox. The Rays are second in the AL East, and they're just a half game back for that second wild card spot in the American League. Now, Boston on the other side, losers in 7 out of their last 8 at home, taking on the Rays. They're also just the Red Sox, let's try that again. The Red Sox are just 20-34 against the spread at home this year. They're also 29th in walks allowed at home, which is second to last in Major League Baseball. So although we have no line currently posted for this game, I think the Rays should win it outright. So give me Tampa Bay winning this one outright for some money line cash. Next game, Twins, Marlins, 7:10 Miami. The Twins are minus 180, totals at 8. We saw a nickel move toward the Twins in the early wagering. Minnesota opened $1.75 up to 180, totals at 8. 72% are leaning Twins, 76% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Marlins are plus 160 on the money line. The Twins minus $1.10 on the run line. We have Jose Barrios for the Twins, Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins. Alcantara is 4-9 with a 4.18 ERA and a 1.45 WHIP. Barrios on the other side for the Twins, 9-5 on the year, 2.94 ERA and a 1.14 WHIP. He also has 122 strikeouts in just 134 innings. Now, the Marlins are last in the NL East. They're just 41-64 overall for the year, 23 games under 500. They've also won just 21 out of 55 at home. They are 29th in scoring, which is second to last in Major League Baseball. They're also 28th in walks allowed. Now, the Twins on the other side, completely different story. They're 3rd in scoring, 2nd in hits, and they are in first place in that AL Central at 65-41 overall for the year. They're also pretty good on the road. 34-20 when traveling. Now, total-wise, the Twins are 6-3 to the over in their last 9. The Marlins 31-24 to the over at home. Expensive price here. I don't want to lay the 1.5, but I do like Minnesota. Give me the Twins minus 180 and the over 8 runs in that game. Next matchup, Mariners, Rangers, 8:05 Texas. No line currently posted for this game. We have Matt Whistler for the Mariners, Mike Minor for the Rangers. Minor's 8-6 with a 3.00 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP. Mike Minor also has 136 strikeouts in just 135 innings pitched. Matt Whistler on the other side for the Mariners comes into this game with a 5.63 ERA and a 1.53 WHIP. The Mariners are last in the AL West, just 47-63 overall for the year. They've also won just 21 out of 52 away from home. The Mariners have dropped 9 out of their last 10 when traveling. The Mariners are also 23rd in hits, 28th in striking out, and 29th in runs allowed on average per game. Now Texas on the other side, they're 7th in scoring, 3rd in home scoring, 4-1 in their last 5 at home, taking on the Mariners. I'm going to lean Texas Rangers, winning this one outright for some money line cash. All right, next matchup, Mets, White Sox, 8-10 guaranteed rate field in Chicago. The Mets are minus 160, totals at 8. We saw a 10-cent move toward the Mets in the early wagering. They opened $1.50 up to 160, totals at 8. 63% are leaning Mets, 75% shaded toward the under. Right now, the White Sox are plus 150 on the money line. The Mets plus $1.05 on the run line. We have Jake DeGrom for the Mets, Lucas Giolito for the White Sox. Giolito comes into this game with an 11-5 record, 3.52 ERA, and a 1.12 WHIP. He also has 141 strikeouts in just 117 innings. Now, Jake DeGrom on the other side for the Mets, just 6-7 on the year. The Mets are also 4th in the NL East, 4 games under 500. They've also won just 23 out of 58 on the road this year. The Mets are 20th in hits allowed, 20th in road scoring, and 26th in runs allowed on the road. Now, total-wise, New York is 36-22 to the over when traveling. I'm going to lean White Sox plus 1.5 and the over 8 runs in that game. Next matchup, Cubs, Cards, 8-15 St. Louis. Good old-fashioned flip of the lines in this one. Chicago's now minus 110, totals at 8. But they did not open up as the favorite. And as a matter of fact, they opened plus 110. We saw a 20-cent move toward Chicago in the early wagering. We also saw a movement downward on the total. Once again, the Cubs opened plus 110, now minus 110. Total open 8.5, down to 8 flat. 51% are leaning Cubs, 58% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Cards are plus $1 on the money line. The Cubbies plus 150 on the run line. We have Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs, Miles Michaelis for the Cards. Michaelis has 87 strikeouts in 120 innings. Meanwhile, Kyle Hendricks on the other side for Chicago, just 7-8 on the year. The Cards are first in the NL Central. They finally climbed up into that first place spot in the division. First in the NL Central, 1 game ahead of Chicago. They rank 4th in runs allowed at home, 5th in hits allowed at home. St. Louis is 7-2 in their last 9. They're also 30-22 at home. And they are 57-49 overall for the year, 8 games over 500. Now the Cubbies on the other side, losers in 6 out of their last 8. They've also won just 6 out of 24 as the dog, so keep that in mind should this line flip back. One more thing to add about Chicago. They've won just 20 out of 52 games away from home. They're 22nd in striking out, and they're also 22nd in striking batters out. Now, total-wise, the Cubs are 30-22 to the over on the road. I'm going to lean St. Louis Cardinals plus $1 in the over 8 runs in that game. And our next and final game for the show, it is going to be Brewers Athletics, 10-07 Oakland. The A's are minus 145, totals at 9. We saw a 20-cent move toward Oakland in the early wagering. We also saw movement downward on the total. The A's open $1.25 up to 145. Total open 9.5 down to 9 flat. 62% are leaning toward the Athletics, 61% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Brewers are plus 115 on the money line. The A's plus $1.45 on the run line. We have Jordan Lyles for the Brewers. Brett Anderson for the A's. Anderson comes into this game with a 4.05 ERA and a 1.28 WHIP. Lyles on the other side, 90 strikeouts in just 82 innings pitched. Milwaukee is just 2 games back of first place in the NL Central. They're also just 1 game back of that second wildcard spot in the National League. They are 2nd in offensive walks, 8th in striking batters out. Now, the A's on the other side are 19th in hits, 29th in striking batters out, which is 2nd to last in Major League Baseball. And when it comes to the total, Milwaukee is 6-2 to the over in their last 8 on the road. So with all that in mind, I'm going to finish this one off with 3 straight underdogs. Give me Milwaukee plus 1.5 and the over 9 runs in that game. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage. Once again, we went 3-1 in our premium plays yesterday. Link for that site is in the description section below. Most importantly, I got to thank you for watching this program right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this free content, all this free information. Best of luck to you today. It's hump day. The weekend's almost here. And as always, don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.